Hello everybody, Joe Locklear here. Got a great rental property that I want to show you. We just put this under contract. It is available for sale. I'm going to zoom out here and show you the Jacksonville, Florida area. And then we're going to zoom in. This particular property is on the west side, but it's not way out west. It's within driving area of the urban core. I'd say about 5 miles to the west of downtown. The address is 2208 West 12th. As you can see, it's a good residential area. Let's take a look at the outside of the home. Here is the front of the home. This picture may be a year old or so the yard's not as nice as it was, but we certainly can put it back that nice. It is a concrete block home with a Norwegian brick front, so it's a very sturdy home. Let's kind of loop around, take a look at the neighborhood here. Good solid little neighborhood. We own a property that's within walking distance, about a block from this one. It's one of our best rental units. But the one we own is frame. It's not block like this one. So this is a great house. It has a good roof, with the exception of there was a porch that was built on the back. We're going to have to redo the roof on that back portion. Okay, there is the home on the outside. Let's take a look inside. Again, we're now standing in the driveway looking at the home. You can see this is Norwegian brick. It's not just face brick, it's solid interwoven brick, and that is on the front, and then the sides are concrete block. It has nice looking columns, and this will be a real cute home when we do just a few improvements to it. I've just stepped back a little bit, taking another front shot. Here is the rear of the home. Now this area right here, I debated on whether to tear this off, and I decided it's going to cost about $1,900 to put a new roof on it. I decided that it would be better to fix it properly, tie the roof in, and keep it, because it is an advantage. And even if we tore it off, that would probably cost about $600. So we decided to leave this in place. Okay, we're now inside. This is the front door. Needs a new front door. The door is screwed shut. Somebody put contact paper up for wallpaper. So what we were going to do is take all that off, paint the inside, and rather than deal with painting this, because we'd have to do a lot of sanding, we're probably just going to re-wallpaper this with some nice sturdy vinyl wallpaper. This will get carpet in this area because those are just the cheap stick down tiles. So there is the living room. Here's the kitchen. The cabinets are good. We're going to probably repaint them, at least clean them up real good. May change the hardware to give it a little contrast. And we're going to add a cabinet over here with a countertop on it. That's between the range and the refrigerator. So we always paint the walls beige. That'll make these white cabinets stand out. So it'll look real nice when we get through with the kitchen. And here is the dining nook. I'm standing in the kitchen now, looking back. This is a place for a dining table here. By the way, this is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath home. This is one of the bedrooms. Here is bedroom 2. Here is bedroom 3. The bath. I'm going to do a few improvements in the bath, which we'll go over. This is the bathtub. We are going to repair in here. You can barely see it, but there's been some water behind here. So what we're going to do is really replace this entire bath enclosure. We're going to put a new tub in, and we're going to retile this. It's one of the biggest things the interior needs is that bath taken care of. It has a new 200 amp service, which is really good, up to code. Here is the water heater. This is in an enclosed area in back of the kitchen, which is a laundry, holds the water heater. And we're back at the front of the house. So that gives you an idea of the house. What's attractive about this is it's very solid home, concrete block. It's a conventional layout. It hasn't been altered and walls moved. It is the type property that you want to own as a rental. Let's look at some numbers. First, let's begin with the estimate. Now, what I do on this estimate is I go through each item. Let's take an example here. Repaint and put new hardware on the kitchen cabinets. I determine that takes about 6 hours. This is the hourly rate that I pay my best man. And that gives us a subtotal, 150 in materials, for a total of 310. Now, I move that number over here so we can zoom in and see it a little better without having to look at all of this. So I'm not going to go all through this. I'm showing it to you to be able to show you that these are not just numbers that I pick out of the sky. I'm very good on these estimates. I've been doing them for many, many years, and we do our own work. There are some things that we contract out, like that roofing in the rear. It's $1,800. I'm sorry, I said 19, but it's 18. And carpeting. Everything else we do in-house. So let's run through here. I'm going to zoom in so we can see it a little bit better. Begin with an exterior pressure wash, the yard work, the roof that we just talked about. We're going to repaint and re-hardware the cabinets, replace the counters. Actually, that's just replace counters and add one base cabinet. Electrical inspection and repairs. The power's been off for more than a year, so we have to have an inspection. And I always put some repair money in there. We're going to repair that screen in the rear because we're putting a new roof on it, so we want to make it real nice. This is the interior painting and wallpaper, about $12.54 at our cost. Have a little tile repair to do. Interior wall repairs, some exterior repaint. So we are going to repaint the exterior. When this home is painted with that brick, it's going to look really, really nice. This will be a little showplace. We're going to put a new front entry door on. We're going to recarpet, install some shutters. That'll fancy it up. We have light fixtures. We're going to put a new bathtub, mini blinds, and we do have one window that has to be replaced. We're going to retile the tub surround. We're going to make that bath look new. And we're going to put a new air conditioning system in with a cage. Now, you can save some money. You can save about half this amount if you want to go used. But, you know, this house is going to be so nice, I think I'd put a new one in. But that'll be up to you. So you can do this renovation for a little less if you'd like to. And a new range and refrigerator. That'll make this a really desirable rental property. I always put in some money for miscellaneous and for a contingency. Let's zoom back 100%. And you will see that my cost comes up to $15,150, and you could do this yourself. I doubt you could do it for that price because I have a lot of connections and I've been doing this a long time. We really know what we're doing. We do charge a 20% markup for profit and our overhead. That's $3,030. Now, if you want to have the rental management company, if you have a management company, call for the appliances and place them. The money can come directly out of the escrow and go to them. Then I don't have to mark it up. That would save you about $220, and most people do that. So that puts the estimated cost at about $17,960 for the renovation. Let's move on and look at the bottom line. You can purchase this home from us right now for $20,600. That is a very good buy for a home in this condition and this type of a home. Your renovation cost, as we just went over, is at about $17,960. I put in $600 for your closing cost. That puts your basis at under $40,000, about $39,160. I put the rent at $725. Now you may be able to get $750, but I want to be conservative. I put the ARV or the value of this home at about $50,000. That's just a guess. The vacancy ratio, I always put in 5% for vacancy, 5% for reserves. I put in 10% for a management fee. So the return that I'm going to show you here is a bottom line return. This you should really get. The taxes on this property are only $24 a month, and you're going to spend about $50 for property insurance. Now, that puts your capital position at about $39,160 based on a $506 net spendable income each month. That's a return of 15.51%. This is a very high return, especially for this type home. It's high because we got a really good deal on this home. We bought this at an auction, and there was one other bidder, and they didn't want to stay up late. This was an auction that ended, I think, 9 or 10 o'clock, and so we literally were the only bidder. So we really bought it right, so we're going to pass it on to you right. Just because we buy it really, really good doesn't mean we mark it up anymore. So this is an opportunity for you to get a real good buy at a 15.51% return. This is a breakdown. I went over it over here, so I won't go over it again. 725, and these are your expenses, and here's your net. And again, that net is after everything, including property management. Now this little area over here, let's zoom in on this. I put a 2% inflation factor in because I want you to see what happens over the years. You begin charging $725 rent, but if we have 2% inflation, you try to go up the second year to $740. Now your expenses would increase too by the same amount because inflation hits everything. Inflation is inflation. But the increase 2% of $725 is more than 2% of your expenses. Therefore, your cash flow increases each year. Now, this shows you what I'm projecting your cash on cash return would be for these years. And it winds up after 10 years at about an 18% return, even though it starts at 15. Now, if the property goes up in value at a meager 2%, your return comes out here, if you get 2% inflation at about 21% over 10 years. This is a fantastic deal. If you have money sitting somewhere and it's not earning you 15% at least, you should buy this home immediately. If your money is in an IRA, you should self-direct it. I'd go with equity trust. I'd self-direct my IRA, and I'd buy this house. All of my family's IRA money is in houses, and I bet we make a lot more than you do if you're not in housing. Okay, that is the property. If you have an interest in it, just, you can respond by email. You can reach me, joelocklear@gmail.com. You can call me on my cell phone, 904-813-9526. We'll see you on the next property.